Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Trash Talk Podcast. We got some music for you today.
Yes, we do.
So, what's the first thing gonna be, JJ?
Well, the first thing is, I believe you called it music that has fallen from grace.
Music that has fallen from grace, originating in the mind of that which is me. I came up with this idea. I'm the first human being to do so.
Okay, first question, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Is fallen from grace on either one of our lists?
No.
Good.
Here's a regulation also for my list, okay? I didn't just put on songs just to reinforce that I hate those songs or dislike those songs. I put songs that I once at least somewhat liked, and now I like significantly less.
So, I think by now it is known that I don't necessarily have as strong of opinion on this kind of stuff sometimes as you do.
Correct, yeah.
But I also wrote down some songs that I used to like more than I do now.
Now, some of these songs on this list, I also want to say, I still like better than other songs in my playlist. A rule for me was that I have to care about that song somewhat.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna put a song like, of course I can't come up with one right now because I don't care about it, but let me quickly check my playlist. I was going through all of my songs in my playlist, which is almost it's 776.
Yeah, I was skimming through mine as well, but there's like 1,000 of them.
There's a lot of them. So I'm not gonna put something like Lola by the Kings, right? The Kinks, sorry, by the Kinks, because I don't give a shit about that song. It's there. I've never listened to. I've probably never listened to that ever. Once when you give it to me, it's like, okay, I can bear that. I will not go out of my way to delete it. I'll keep it there. I don't care about that song too much. When it plays, it plays. When it doesn't, it doesn't. So I'm not gonna put that on because I've never really cared about that song. It's songs that I do care about, right? So that's the idea.
And specifically that you now like less than you used to.
Yes, exactly. So do you want to start or should I start? I have a list written down.
Let me just quickly go through something. I have a few songs written down that are all kind of in a similar vein. There's songs like Centerfold, Jesse, Hey There Delilah,
alright,
Kaylee, those types of songs.
Kaylee?
By Marillion, I believe they're called.
I don't think I've ever heard of that song.
I believe that was a song of the week once.
It might have been.
Mine.
Yeah, I probably didn't know it at that
like
point.
Those types of just generally like...
Yeah, good calls.
Kind of, I think most of that stuff is like 80s, 90s.
Centerfold's a good call.
Kind of upbeat songs that I
Is Jesse an upbeat song?
Well,
isn't that the opposite of an upbeat song?
Okay, but like generally, like I feel like those kind of fit together in a vein where it's like those songs that Jesse isn't particularly
not really an upbeat,
but that
kind of depressing.
I used to like a lot more than I do now. Mm-hmm. I still don't think that any of those are necessarily bad songs, but
is Jesse still in our elite music list that we listen to while we do stuff? Maybe that's a candidate for the kicking at one point.
You always comment about how impractical it is to play piano on the beach.
It's not smart, man. Every single time that music video plays, why do you're living from a truck? Like, you're living out of a truck and what you bring is a piano that takes up 80% of your space? Come on, man. Who does that? That's not smart. That's just... But that's not the biggest gripe I don't have that much of a gripe for that song. It's an okay song. I like it. Because it was on your list. For me, it's still about the same as it was in the beginning. I never loved it, like hugely loved it, top 20 loved it, but it's still where it is now. It's a good song.
Yeah, but again, for me, that entire list that I wrote down there, and there's probably more that would fit into that category where it's like songs that I used to like a lot when I first heard them, and that I still do like to some degree, but not nearly as much.
Right. That's a regular phenomenon.
And of course, to some degree, that is the case for almost any song. It's like the first few times you hear it, or if you haven't heard it in a while, you always like it more than you do after it's been in your playlist for like a while. But I feel like for those, it was maybe a bit stronger of an effect than usual.
There's people with a solid tractor outside our studio, so apologize if that shows up on the... I don't know why they do it. It's past 8 p.m., man, and people be driving tractors out there. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna tell you the first song on my list, which I already mentioned to you before, is Jack and Diane by John Mellencamp.
Yes.
This song I actually have deleted. There's actually two that I have gone on ahead and deleted from my playlist.
Okay.
Because I really disliked it. I don't like the song anymore. I don't know why, and that's another phenomenon, I think. Like, you start to think, why did I even like this in the first place? I think this is kind of like in a breakup, right? When you break up with someone, like, how did I ever even like that person in the first place? I must have been dumb. I must have been crazy. Right? And that's how I feel with this song as well.
I was never, like, a huge fan of that song. I always thought it was kind of, in one of those, like good but not great, like decent-ish songs.
It's not even good. It's not as good of a song. I don't like John Mellencamp that much at all.
It was never like an all-time favorite song or anything like that for me, but it hasn't really fallen either. It's an okay song.
Yeah, it's no. I don't want it. I don't want no part of it. Let me give you another.
Although surprisingly enough that is the type of song that could have easily fit with the others, but I was never like too huge on that one in particular.
Yeah, that's one for you that you never cared too much about.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like for me,
it's still in there. It's there.
I actually went on and deleted it after it played, and I was like, I don't like that song. The next one, which I also mentioned to you when I brought up the topic, was All Summer Long by Kid Rock.
Yes.
Don't like the song.
Pretty much the same thing I said about Jack and Diane. It's like I always knew that song. I always kind of liked that song, but it was never like a great song.
You know that song.
It still is a good song.
That song was the original song that got me into the country genre. It was one of the first songs that I ever heard. I was like, you know what? I kind of like that style. I like that style. And then I went, Sweet Home Alabama. Oh, let's look at some Lynyrd Skynyrd. There's these bands. There's Alabama. We got John Denver and we got Alan Jackson. And I became a country fan.
So you mentioned Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Huh?
Freebird.
For me, one of those that I never cared too much about to say that it's not falling from grace. It's an okay song.
It's one of those that I used to like a lot more than I do now. It's still an okay song.
It's a song that people use a lot for cinematic music.
Yeah, I also think
background songs
that it's probably one of those songs that is in general a bit overrated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of that.
But yeah, it's an okay song.
It's okay,
but it's nothing great.
It's nothing spectacular. But I've never looked at it as something spectacular. It was always my
I mean, it was
fourth favorite Skynyrd song, or third probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
probably
know.
Third because I only got 3, but
yeah.
Cool. Another one would be Jesus He Knows Me by Genesis.
Actually, I wrote down from my list Genesis / Phil Collins in general.
Okay.
Because
as of now, Genesis is still your reigning number 2 favorite band of all time.
Because we haven't made a long list in a long while, but
exactly. I told you that was not gonna last. I just wanted to know that I was right.
I still think that their stuff is good, and
they're okay.
And I still have a lot of their songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of those songs I did overrate.
I was actually on the verge of putting Salisbury Hill on this list.
All right.
But I ended up putting Jesus He Knows Me. It's not that I dislike this song now. It kind of went from somewhat great to now it's okay. Like good to great to it's okay. It's
yeah, I think for me a lot of the Genesis and Phil Collins songs went from great to good.
Right. I mean, you had that too, so probably some of them were like transcendental, almost. Or are we just going off like quantity?
Well, it was always for the Genesis and Phil Collins stuff. It was always a combination of quality and quantity because I used to think of most of the songs that I had, if not all of them, by Genesis as great songs, and there's like between Phil Collins and Genesis like over 10. So
yeah, but like maybe like 2 of them are great.
So exactly. So that of course
between all of them.
If someone is consistently great for 10 songs, and everyone else has maybe a few great songs and a few good ones, then it's easy for them to be a number 2.
Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel?
Phil Collins.
Right.
I mean, I have like 6 or 7 Phil Collins songs, like 2 Peter Gabriel songs.
For me, it's probably closer, but I'm not gonna make a judgment on that. I put Jesus He Knows Me. It's also still on my playlist, I think. The elite playlist.
Yes.
Might have to... Oh, is it? Maybe I kicked it last time. I'm not even sure.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter too much for the podcast anyways.
I have written down Two Princes by the Spin Doctors as well.
Huh. Yeah.
It's kind of one that has been left by the wayside. It's a song that we haven't mentioned in probably like a year.
I would like to add that to the beginning statement of like songs, because I feel like that also kind of fits in there with the like...
One that you didn't give too much about ever?
No, the ones that I used to like more than I do now, but it's not necessarily...
It's not that they're bad.
It's bad, yeah, exactly.
It's just the hype curve has
like,
just fallen.
Along with where I said like Jesse and Centerfold and that kind of stuff, I think...
Yeah, that fits in that. I won't protest that. Do you have anything else written down?
I have... let's see. There's a few things. There's two things in particular that I've also written down. One that I think we mentioned a while ago as well, but that I still think kind of is relevant is most Queen songs.
Most Queen songs, okay.
I didn't want to write down anything in particular because there is quite a few of them. Mm-hmm. I don't think a Queen is bad by any means, but I think we used to overrate them a lot, especially like a year ago or so.
I don't think I did, because they were only like on my verge of top 10, and I basically view them the same still. I know that songs like Under Pressure were never great songs, but Queen... You want to look at the folder? I can do that as well if you want to.
Wanted to do that really quickly.
Let me pull up mine.
Interestingly enough, I have more Queen songs than I used to, but I think the individual songs aren't necessarily... Like, another one bites the dust. Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, they're okay.
I Want to Break Free.
Yeah, not even a huge fan of that one.
The Show Must Go On.
Hammer to Fall.
Who Wants to Live Forever.
Okay.
Those are songs that I think have fallen.
Show Must Go On is still a good song.
It's an okay song.
I still like that song.
And I was never a huge fan of We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You, to be honest.
No.
Like, Killer Queen, Hammer to Fall, those are still great songs.
Bohemian Rhapsody has a certain legendary flair to it.
Yeah,
it's mostly good.
Exactly.
It's good, but it's probably not gonna pull a top 10 appearance.
And I think there was... I think I had like Queen as a top 10 band before.
Yeah, I was always struggling with that.
In general, individual songs, especially the ones that are named, are ones that I used to think a lot more highly of than I do now. Uh-huh. It's interesting because now I had one or two new Queen songs not new Queen songs, but like for me, songs that I have added newly to my
like songs that Freddie recorded like in 2017.
Exactly. So, for me, the quality, or the way I perceive the quality, rather, has gone down, but the quantity has gone up, interestingly enough, so that kind of almost evens out to a degree, but, yeah.
Queen is kind of, it's there, it's a good band, it's not a top 5 band of all time. My view on them hasn't changed that much, though. And lastly, I wrote down also a different band, though, which is AC/DC. And two songs in particular that I wrote down, which is one of them TNT.
Yes.
And the other one is You Shook Me All Night Long. Which, TNT, I've never been huge... I've been higher on than I am now. And the latter, I actually also deleted completely from my playlist. But right now, the fact of the matter is that there's two AC/DC songs that I would consider worth listening to, and I have in a playlist, which is Highway to Hell and Rock and Roll Train.
Okay.
And that's that. That's what AC/DC is.
I mean, you know that I generally like to structure my playlist more in the, oh, hey, look, there are 700 songs. Let's put them on shuffle and listen to them all day long.
Yeah, I have right now 4 different playlists on my phone.
Yeah, I generally...
And that's not a lot.
Generally just have like a 700 song playlist that I just listen to for everything. And
yeah, I don't do that.
I think I have like 11 AC songs.
I'm way more
or something.
picky. Also, what I'll do is like most of the time I won't even just start a playlist. Even one of those. I'll sit down and I'll go to recently added and pick specific songs. I'll listen to that song, and after that I'll go back out in the menu and pick out another specific song. And I might listen to 3 songs and start over with the first song, and then go back to the other song again.
Yeah,
That's what I do most of the time.
because I generally don't just sit there and listen to music. I'll be doing something else while I'm doing it, so I can't just every 3 to 5 minutes just pop over on a different desktop or whatever and just click the next song or something.
I do that sometimes.
That is way too much effort for me.
Well, mostly on the go as well when I'm walking around and I'm listening on my headphones.
Well, yeah, I
my phone.
don't listen to music when I'm walking around, but
that's so weird. You're such a social person.
Not really.
You're not shutting yourself off enough.
One last song that I've written down is Radioactive by Imagine Dragons.
Okay. Kind of been smooth going for me. Never been too high on it, never been too low on it. It's the same. It's okay. It's good.
It's, again, for me, it's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh yeah, this used to be something that I really like. Now it's just something that I kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. There's certain songs where when you first get them, you're kind of hyped about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then the hype slowly kind of...
That reminds me, Last Man Standing by Hammerfall.
Best Hammerfall song.
Not even close.
Best one out of 2, I think. And the other one's a cover.
Well, I mean, I have like 20 Hammerfall songs.
It's actually a pretty good song. I mean, it's good.
I still think that songs like Natural High or Rebel Inside, Genocide, those are all better than Last Man Standing by a long shot.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool. I'm cool with it. Maybe I'm behind the times a little bit. I don't know. It's I'm cool with that. But yeah, again, it's just sometimes with these songs it's like with relationships. Like I said, man, you're hyped in the beginning, then it falls off, and then somebody like, what? How the fuck did I ever like that song? And sometimes you're just like, okay, I can get along with that song, but I'm not a huge fan of that song anymore. Like I'm not gonna take that song out for dinner every weekend now, but I can still spare to live in the same house with that song, sort of thing. But sometimes you just want to be like, that song needs to go. I can't have this song anymore. This song is depressing me, man. I'm not projecting anything. I'm just making analogies up, by the way. I'm not.
Yeah.
Just say. But that's my list. So that's all I had.
Yeah. Same for me, actually.
So let's get into the halftime show. I've prepped something.
Oh god.
It's gonna be a 2-parter. I feel like
there's gonna be trick questions again.
No trick questions. There's gonna be a 2-parter.
The first part is me embarrassing myself here, and then the second part is you doing that.
Correct. I'm gonna ask you questions of common knowledge that every adult, I believe, should know. Questions that are very common knowledge. That, or at least it is common understanding that they should be common knowledge. There might be more people out there than you would think that don't know these, but they're fairly simple, and most people should know what this is. But essentially,
the Earth is not flat.
The Earth is not flat, but that is not a question. I'm essentially trying to expose your knowledge gaps, right? And next week's halftime show, you're going to do the same thing.
Yes.
So first of all, what I can already tell you that I'm going to try to get you with geography a little bit.
Oh god, I'm bad at geography, and you know it too.
That's correct, and some other just popular mainstream stuff that you might not know. So the first one, who is the, as of today, as of point of recording and release, still current champion of the World Series of Baseball?
I've got absolutely no idea.
That's what I thought. It's the Houston Astros. They beat the Los Angeles Dodgers last year.
I've heard of neither team.
Huge spectacle. You have not heard of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No.
That is worse than everything you could have said in terms of answers. See, that's exactly what I mean, right? Gaps in knowledge.
The thing is, at least I'm not embarrassed by not knowing sports.
Yeah, sure.
I'm cool with that.
How about this one, though? This is a geography one. What country used to be a prison island?
Australia?
Australia. Okay, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. It's pretty obvious, right?
That's very common knowledge.
But that's how a lot of people would feel about all these questions. Isn't it embarrassingly obvious who the goddamn LA Dodgers are? And that they lost to the Astros last year in the World Series. I don't know. The city of Pittsburgh can be found in what state?
I feel like I should know this.
Yes, that's the point of all these questions.
Let's see. Do I know where Pittsburgh is? I have a feeling that I don't, which is actually, yeah. I feel like I should have heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've heard Pittsburgh before.
Yeah, I've heard Pittsburgh before. Thank you very much. I actually have no idea.
Okay, let me ask you differently. In what state is the city of Philadelphia?
Pennsylvania.
That is correct. And
Philadelphia,
correct.
PA.
And you know that because of that song, right?
Yes.
And Pittsburgh is as well.
Okay.
Which one is the capital of Pennsylvania, though?
Knowing you, it's neither.
Correct, it's Harrisburg. But I I thought you might also not know that. But the original question was just Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is in Pennsylvania. Okay. These ones are actually a little bit of a chain, so they're linked together. So right now, remember how we were at Pennsylvania? Who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Let me repeat that. Who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue?
Okay, I have no clue, but I assume... Okay, I have a guess.
Alright.
Is that by any chance the address of the White House?
That is the address of the White House.
So, in that case, it will be the President of the United States and his family.
That is correct.
Okay, fair, but I never heard that address before.
Really?
No. But I almost thought that it was that from the way you asked
I heard that on a video that I watched recently where exactly this comparison came up, and the next question relates. A surprising amount of Americans can't tell you who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. More people will be able to tell you, and this is my second question in this chain, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
That is correct. And apparently more people know that than would know 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, which is the legit thing.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. And relating next one right away to pineapple.
No pineapple on pizza. No.
What is the origin country of pizza?
The origin country of pizza. Well,
or the original country.
Well, I mean, common understanding would say Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you're asking that question, I suppose it's not Italy. But if it's not Italy, then I don't know. So let's just go with Italy.
It is Italy.
Okay.
Correct.
I thought it was one of those trick questions where, it is known to be from Italy, but actually before that it was invented somewhere else.
Yeah, I could have seen your answer like Chicago or something.
Yeah. Funny.
Could have seen you said that. Okay.
Hey, people in the comment section, Chicago style pizza or New York style pizza? There you go. I just started a war. Continue.
I don't know. I can't even answer that. Okay, I like to see. I'm a fan of the stuffed crust, but how much bread is too much bread? It's a tough one. All right. 2 more questions though. How many moons does the planet Mars have?
None?
2.
2. Okay. I was just guessing. I didn't know.
How many moons does planet Earth have?
1.
That is correct. But
apparently it's possible that we used to have 2.
Yeah.
And then one of them crashed into the Earth and caused the extinction of the dinosaurs.
Correct. But Mars has 2 moons.
2. Okay.
And the last one, how many countries are there in the world? Roughly. I don't need the exact number, but roughly.
Is it like 200?
It's 195.
Yeah, I thought it was slightly under 200, yeah.
So remembering that by 100 is totally legitimate. Because in a few years that number might have changed again. Like a few years before it was different. So new countries keep popping up. Like South Sudan.
Yeah,
that happened a few years ago. So about 200 is, I guess, a fair guess. So that's the question. That's the quiz that I had. Did okay.
Yeah.
I think you got most of them.
Yes.
Those were pretty easy, though. Pittsburgh, you need to go back to your geography class. Man. That's still a thing. And sports, too. Like, that's your sports, the obliviousness that you display when it comes to sports is jarring. It's horrible. How has one never heard of the LA Dodgers? Can you tell me what an RBI is?
No.
Can you tell me what a home run is?
That is when they bat the ball outside of the field. Right? That's how it
Not
works. Like,
necessarily. A home run is there is such a thing as an infield homer.
Oh, is it just when everyone gets home?
It's when the batter gets home in the same play. So you bat it and you get around all bases.
Okay, so it doesn't necessitate, but usually they'll just hit the ball, it just goes off, and then they'll just...
Yeah, typically it happens
run
when it goes outside the park because
way,
it's tough to do it with the inside, but it's possible as an infield. An RBI is a run batted in, which means that you bat it and someone who's maybe on second or third base gets home, but you only get to like first or second, but that is a run, you bat it in for someone else.
Okay.
If the bases are loaded, which means that there's a person on every base, and you then hit a homer, that's called a grand slam.
Okay.
There's some baseball terminology. And we got postseason baseball coming up, by the way.
Yeah, I do not care.
I don't. I know you don't, but I do. So that's the full quiz. We have a fact of the week for you.
Hey, here's something interesting about geography.
Oh, I see you.
I think I might have mentioned this towards you before, but it's a very fun fact, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Very fun fact.
Arctos was, I believe, Greek. It stands for, it means bear, which is what the Arctic is named after.
Yes.
More particularly, though, it's not named that because there's bears there, which there are, as opposed to the South Pole where there aren't any. Which
is also the Antarctic.
The Antarctic, yeah. North Pole, the Arctic, is named after the after Ursa Major, actually, the star constellation.
Oh, okay.
It's named after that, but it also just so happens to have actual bears.
So that's just a coincidence. And if nature was as much of a dick to just have put the polar bears on the South Pole,
okay,
the penguins up north, it would have been...
Here's the question, though. Does Ursa Major actually look like a bear? And if there were no bears, they would have just called it something else. Because that's just...
Maybe there's like, oh yeah, we are used to seeing bears, so we happen to see bears in the stars.
Yeah, exactly. So it might still be that it wouldn't be that way if there were no bears there.
That is possible.
I didn't look up what the constellation was named after, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough. Here's another fun fact, not that fun fact of a week, but you know how during the history of humanity there have been a lot of people?
Yes, there's more people that have been dead than are currently alive.
Yeah, about 97% of people that have ever existed are dead right now. About 50%, that is half of all people that have ever existed ever in the history of ever.
Oh, you're now gonna say in the last X years, right?
No, have died from the same exact cause.
Oh.
Half of all people that have ever existed have died from malaria.
Okay.
That's a fact.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Ever. Like, ever. There's no other cause of death even close to malaria. In terms of quantities. That's something that you might not...
What about human stupidity?
I mean, it can't be more than half. Probably not. I mean, probably not that much. That's just the exaggerated case. You know how... When 10 people die, it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And when 1 million dies, it's a statistic.
Yeah.
So, no one's ever going to be like, oh my god, the humanity, malaria. But, someone shoots up a school, 3 to 10 people die, public outrage, right?
Yes.
And, yeah, half of all people ever have died.
TrashcanTV does not condone school shootings.
No, also not malaria.
Yes.
Also not anything else. No shootings of any kind.
Interestingly enough, we talked about school shootings in the very first episode of the Trash Talk podcast.
That's a fact.
And we established that you do not like Mondays.
No, I dislike Mondays almost as much as I do the school shootings. Even though I was forced to experience more Mondays in my life than school shootings so far.
Well,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think that's very much a good thing.
Yeah, let's get off of that topic, man. That's the fact of the week. There you go. You can bring that out at parties to depress some people when they're actually happy.
Specifically the malaria one.
Yeah, that's always what I like to do at parties. Bring people down.
Oh well, you must be fun at parties.
You can't have anyone being happy. No. Let's get into the second.
We can try that out tomorrow.
we can do that. We're going to a birthday party.
Yes.
Yeah. Happy birthday. You know who you are, probably not. Because you're probably not watching our stuff. Yes. Anyway, let's get into the second topic.
Well, of course, that brings up one question. Have we talked about enough music already?
Nope.
Okay, let's see. What can we talk about? Do you have some songs have the same name?
I do. Yes, I do. I can come up with some songs that have the same name.
Let's discuss that.
And they're sometimes even about the same thing. And sometimes they just do it for the sake of being cool.
Yeah, I just made it sound like we came up with that on the spot. We totally didn't.
No, we did not.
So...
But we have very good actors.
Yeah, no.
I'm a good actor.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
I couldn't know because for all I know, everything I know about you could be an act.
Remember that one time when I carried the school theater? By playing 2 roles? That was pretty good. That was tough. I did kind of well.
Well, okay, you were one of the better people in that play. Does not necessarily make you a good actor.
No, but the thing is, I had 2 roles, and I carried that play. That's fine. Anyway, I do have some songs that have the same names, and the things that come to mind would be, first of all, the name America.
Yes.
Broad term, because it's a big thing.
There is at least 4 different songs by that name, although one of them I honestly don't know by whom that is.
Yes,
we'll
there's definitely a lot more.
Yeah, I mean...
But there's 3 that I have in my playlist.
Yes.
And so do you. There's a Simon and Garfunkel one.
Yes.
There's Deuce.
That's a slight contrast.
That's a slight contrast.
And there's Razorlight.
Yeah, it's a slight difference in demeanor as well.
Yeah.
Razorlight one... Okay, first of all, let's establish which one is the best. You probably would say Razorlight.
Razorlight, yeah.
Wasn't that even one of your top 10 songs? Or was it Wire to Wire?
No, I think it might have been... No, it was America. It was America because then you made the comment about the cheapest music video, and then we discovered that you were wrong because it was Wire to Wire. It was Wire to Wire,
yeah. They just put up some matches. It's even cheaper music video than The Great Escape by the Rifles, which is crazy. All they did was painted some signs and got some fireworks.
Yeah, so
but
there's...
They just use matches.
3 songs called America that we are familiar with.
Correct.
The Razorlight one being the best.
Probably disagree. I'd probably say Simon and G-Dubs.
I mean, that's probably the second best one, to be fair.
Even though you had America by Deuce as your Song of the Week.
Yes, in the same week where you had America by Simon and Garfunkel as the Song of the Week.
That was a huge podcast. That was great. That was fantastic. That was one of the better times.
You were like,
my Song of the Week is, you was like, I was like, we might have the same song.
I was like,
I called it before, and then you were like,
I was like, no.
My Song of the Week is America. And I'm like, same. And you're like, by Deuce. Dang it. So
I was like, there's no way you picked that as the Song of the Week.
No. But I did pick America.
But that's also like one of those types of songs.
That might have been the original inspiration for this topic now.
That's one of those songs that is not necessarily a great song, but every now and again you're just in the mood to listen to something like that.
Which one?
I feel. America by Deuce.
By Deuce, yeah. There's a specific situation where for me at least, which is the gym.
Yeah, nah, I don't really do that.
You don't really do the gym thing.
Yeah.
Is the thing. But, yeah, in the gym, my music taste is radically different than it usually is. That's also where Hammerfall comes in.
Yes, I can see that.
Or Sabaton. Sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's only the gym, though. I would never listen to America by Simon and Garfunkel or Razorlight while working out. That doesn't synergize well, man. It's gonna put you to sleep more than actually hype you up, so no. But Simon and Garfunkel is probably the best, and it's probably my favorite as well, of the 3.
Okay, I suppose the other obvious one for you is C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. That's actually 4. 4 songs.
Yes.
With the same French title.
There is the Texas Lightning one, which is, interestingly enough, a cover.
It's a cover?
That, I believe it was Chuck Berry?
Oh, that's possible. I can see Berry.
But the song was originally not called C'est la vie, it was called You Never Can Tell.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. But then they were like, no, we gotta go with the hip title that everyone else uses.
There's also the Slade song, C'est la vie, of course.
That's a really good song.
And you've got 2 more, I believe it's Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Shania Twain.
Correct. To put those in order, from best to worst, I'm gonna not judge the Emerson, Lake and Palmer one right now because I only recently found that and I haven't listened to it as much, and I'm not at that point where I can be like, oh, and I can now judge quality wise how I'm gonna like that.
I might have heard it once. I really can't.
I gave it to you, but you haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
You haven't really evaluated that. So
the Shania Twain one I've listened to once or twice, but it's out of the other three, I would say definitely the worst.
yeah, so the Slade and the Texas Lightning ones are the best ones.
Yes.
For sure.
How those rank against each other is actually kind of tough.
And that is not that easy. It's not that easy. I know Lotus Slade won longer, though.
Yeah.
And it's probably the better song. But in my personal favoritism, it's close. It's at least close.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to say Texas Lightning.
You think so? I mean, Me by Slade is definitely the better song. But, yeah, I mean... I would probably, gun to my head, I'd still pick the Slade version. But I like them both. They're both in the regular playlist for regular stuff.
Yes.
That I have on my phone. And we tend to listen to in regular places during regular activities. With regular people. At least 2 of those are a lie.
Okay, yeah. Here's one that I'm not sure if you're aware of.
Alright.
Wish You Were Here.
Wish You Were Here. That tells me Pink Floyd. What else does that tell me?
The Rednecks.
The Rednecks?
The Rednecks.
The Rednecks with an X at the end.
And...
What?
It's actually a good song, too.
Wish You Were Here by the Rednecks?
Yes!
I've never heard of that.
I thought...
Put that in the music share.
I think I put it on the stick.
Okay.
But, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's a thing. And...
So that's 2.
And
or is there more?
That's just the 2.
Okay.
And I'm honestly not sure which one is better. Probably still the Pink Floyd one. But I'm tempted to say I Wish You Were Here is probably the best Redneck song.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Actually, Cotton Eye Joe I totally whiffed on that in the first topic.
Yeah, Cotton Eye Joe is one of those... It's kind of a hype song because just of its nature, but it's not actually a good song.
It's not a really good piece of musical art.
It's kind of, if you're actually looking at like the quality of the song, it's actually kind of a bad song. But it's also like one of those classics that you just kind of have to like to a degree.
Right? It's okay. It's decent. Yeah, I could have mentioned that in the first topic, but Wish You Were Here is different. Is it a different style, or is it like same type of style?
It's
fiddling.
The Cotton Eye Joe. I thought you meant the other. Wish You Were. No, it's very different. It's
very different. Okay.
It's a bit of a. I'm almost gonna say it's like a ballad or something. Like a lot of somewhat softer.
So it's not country.
No.
Quick fiddle.
No.
Okay. I wasn't even aware that they were capable of other styles because that's all I knew. Yeah,
it's also from an album that, by the title, won't make you think that it's like that. It's from Sex and Violins.
Okay. Oh, violins.
Yes, violins.
Yeah, right. You've made that pun before.
Yeah, it's Rednecks.
Even though violins sounds a lot more formal than fiddle.
Yes, but it sounds like violins.
When you think country, you're thinking fiddle.
Yes.
Not violin. That's when you're thinking orchestra.
Yes, but they had to make the pun work.
Yeah, when you listen to violin music, you're wearing a suit or a fancy dress and you're in an opera house. But when you listen to a fiddle, you're probably in some country club.
Interestingly enough, another one that I don't really expect you to know, maybe not even either version, is Hearts on Fire.
Hearts on Fire. I'm not sure if I know either version.
Which is one of those that kind of surprised me because it's also like a very specific title, right?
Yeah.
There is a Hammerfall song by that name.
Okay.
And there is a song by the Common Linnets by that name.
Alright. I don't know either one.
So one of those is power metal and the other one's like folk rock.
Okay. So they're
completely different songs.
Actually, I have one more as well that I noticed while scrolling through, which is not that extraordinary of a title. because it's just one word, and the word is words. Words by the Bee Gees and by F.R. David.
Isn't that one called Words Don't Come Easy?
It's words.
In parentheses, don't come easy. Oh.
Like you know how Don't Fear the Reaper sort of thing? But I think it's just like, words.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
I mean, technically, Satisfaction is also I Can't Get No Satisfaction, yeah.
The Bee Gees version is definitely the better one. It's definitely the best song by far. The other one is one of those where I don't even care about it. It's there, I don't know why it's there. I've not listened to it, it's okay. But Words by the Bee Gees, at least, it's a good song. It's an art song.
One more where I believe you know both.
BJ's underrated band.
Is It's My Life.
Yeah, sure.
Bon Jovi would be the one of obviously the better one as well.
Yeah.
There is also one by, why am I blanking on this right now? I should know that. Come on.
Yeah, so should I. Let me go look it up. I know it.
No Doubt.
No Doubt, correct.
Which is actually also a cover. I don't know what the original artist is called. It's a cover, not of the Bon Jovi song. It's completely different songs, but there is another
There's
song.
There's probably more songs by the title of It's My Life.
By the name It's My Life.
I'm actually gonna Google that right now. Maybe there's some more.
There was one Bon Jovi song that also existed by different artists, because when we did the giveaway, we asked for one Bon Jovi song by whom that was.
Exactly.
And someone posted a different answer, which there was also
was
a
it
song
Have a
by
Nice
the name.
Day?
That might have been Have a Nice Day.
I think that's what it was.
I honestly uncertain, but I just remembered that when I was talking about Bon Jovi.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that's called "It's My Life" by a lot of people.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So it's one of those easy titles in parentheses, because that's just something like, oh yeah, it's my life. It's basically the same as "C'est la vie," but in a different language. Same concept.
C'est la vie.
It translates to "it's the life."
The life,
but essentially, right? It's the same idea.
Yes.
In naming the song. So, if we combine those together, there'd actually be 6 songs.
Yeah, but again, it's not even a direct translation.
No, it's not. But
when we're talking about similar song titles, there is also
that's a lot of new stuff.
Let me not get this fucked up. There is a Hammerfall song called "Hallowed Be My Name," and there's an Iron Maiden song called "Hallowed Be Thy Name."
Okay, I don't know either one.
But yeah, neither one is particularly spectacular either. But when we're talking about just very similar titles,
if we're just going similar titles, there's probably a lot more.
But I was about to say that that's a whole nother story.
Don't Stop and Don't Stop Me Now or something.
Yeah.
Fleetwood
Rock
Mac
and Roll Train, Runaway Train.
Yeah, exactly.
Rock and Roll Train, and the song actually specifically also mentions Runaway Train.
I know. They just call it because they're a rock and roll band.
Yes.
So there you go. That's a list of
a rock band
of songs that have equal or similar titles.
Yeah, we discussed which ones we prefer.
At least for the ones where we knew multiple ones of.
Yeah.
It's My Life, obviously Bon Jovi, you already said before. If you know any more examples of that phenomenon, which really isn't one considering that how many songs that there are in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I just mentioned it's like those are just the ones that I have in my playlist, and there's like 1,000 songs.
That's the actual phenomenon, is that there's 4 songs by the name "C'est la vie" in my playlist, and 3 by the name of America.
Yeah.
That's the real phenomenon here, but the fact that there's dozens of songs by the same name for almost every name is not surprising. But if you got any examples, let us know in the comments, and if you want to, also put it in the viewer music share playlist.
Yes, link is in the description as always.
That's where you share your music with us, and if you do, and you pick up a good song, and we don't know it yet, or even if we do, and we appreciate you putting it in there, we're mentioning that on a podcast.
Yes.
So there you go. Share your music with us, and also, because it's only fair, we are going to share some music with you, because we haven't done that enough today, but it's a tradition to end the podcast that way and leave the people on a high note and a bad musical pun.
Yeah, so songs of the week, huh?
Songs of the week. Correct.
Well, so one band that I have been kind of getting into a bit more lately is, I mentioned them before today, The Common Linnets.
Doesn't ring any bells.
I literally mentioned that for
I know you mentioned it, but still it doesn't ring any bells for me. I don't know the song.
So my mother has 2 of their CDs lying around, which I copied over.
What's it called? Lennons?
Linnets.
Oh, Linnets.
Linnets.
Oh, okay, alright, okay. I got it.
And they are kind of like a folk rock band.
Right.
And I've been listening to their stuff a bit more recently, and I actually picked up so far I've picked of those 2 CDs like 4 songs, but there's still a bunch that I have in like a folder for like in consideration.
I'll get on that as well.
Yeah, I actually not that it matters to the viewers too much, but I put them on the on stick.
Okay, cool.
4 of them that I picked out.
That's cool.
I mentioned Hearts on Fire already, so I didn't pick that because I knew I was going to mention that.
Right.
So I picked instead In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes. There's more than that. There's more by that name as well. I already know it. I don't know any specifically, but there's definitely more songs.
Chances are there are, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna go listen to that. Song that I picked is also a very new one, also one that I gave to you recently, that is also in your folder, which is I'm Australian by The Seekers. It's about
don't think I've heard that yet, but
it's about Australians. It's about different types of Australians telling a story about how they are Australian.
Okay.
There's, for example, like the original, like the Aboriginals, you know.
Yes.
Native Australians. There's the people who came from prison ships.
Yeah, did you know that Australia used to be a prison style?
Exactly, and then the chorus is like, oh yeah, we are one, but we are many, or something like that, right? It's a good song.
Oh. Okay.
It's about Australia. I kind of like Australia, man. It's a cool country.
It seems very deadly.
It's deadly, but if you're prepared, you know what you're doing. It might be.
I also think that the deadliness of Australia is overall a bit overhyped.
Yeah, you always gotta have your anti-venoms though.
It's like oh yeah, look at all those dangerous species that live there.
Yeah,
outside of majorly populated areas.
You're not gonna run into crocodiles on the street in the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Typically, right? And I mean, if you're living on the edge of the woods, yeah, you might have some snakes showing up or something.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is, right? So gotta be extra careful sometimes, but it's not like you step outside and everything hunts you down right away.
But drop bears are dangerous.
Oh yeah, they're horrible. They be lurking everywhere. Most dangerous animal in Australia. That's a fact.
I just love that joke.
Yeah.
I also love that there's people who fall for that.
Yes.
It's like an Australian be like, oh yeah, by the way, beware of drop bears. It's like,
yeah. Australia.
Just points at a koala. It's like, those are dangerous.
I wanna go to Australia at some point. It's a cool country. So that's that. Thank you for listening to the Trash Talk Podcast. Name your song of the week. Put it in the music share playlist for viewers. And any songs that you dislike now that you liked before, or that you have multiple ones of by the same name, share it with us in the comments section and we can talk about that. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you taking your time and hope you enjoyed it. We're going to see you in the next one. JJ.
That's it?
That's it.